probably cold around most of the country. It's usually doesn't get too cold here. I mean, it gets in the 30s. It sometimes snows, but mostly Redding is where I'm at, Redding, California. And it's known for how hot it is. Right now it is dumping rain. It's been dumping for the last few days. It seems like I get like maybe one day recently, like one day maybe good weather, and it's like right when I come back from being gone from the family, so I spend the time with family, and then you know, when I need to get out and train or just golf or do something outdoors, it's like rain, and it doesn't stop. It just hasn't. Anyways, that's my tangent because I'm in my garage and it's chilly and I want to go out and train, but I can't. So, which is good. I need to do some videos, and I just thought I'd share with you guys kind of what I'm doing going forward with PCSL, because that was just too much fun, and I'm not going to stop that. I'm not. Still going to do USPSA. Still working towards the national title. Doing limited optics, carry optics as my primary. We'll see. We'll see. I might do something, maybe not this year, but or not 2025, but might do some PCC work just to get more familiar with the rifle platform. Love rifle. I'm a rifle guy at heart, but I live in California, so there's only so much you can do legally, right? So I will travel outside of California to do some training, and of course the competitions are not going to be here. So that being said, this video is really about none of that so much. It's more about what I'm building for PCSL rifle-wise. So basically, we're just going to look at the uppers. The lowers are kind of like, from what I've gathered, talking to Max Leograndis, Kyle Litzy, who else did I talk to? I talked to a few people that basically all of them know more than me about rifles, right? They shoot them better, they know more. I talked to Eric Foss with Howitzer. He's very, very familiar with rifles, very knowledgeable. I actually borrowed his rifle, his Noveski, out there at PCSL. So I was all running his gear. But, you know, kind of a AR is an AR for the most part. And so the lower is what it ends up is kind of like you make that what you want. You know, for PCSL, for competition, you want basic. You don't want a lot of weight on there. So you're not going to have like all the cool stuff like the lights and lasers and even foregrips or anything like that. You really don't need much. But I know what I was used to being prior law enforcement, and the training I did do had a couple things, and you know, I'm only using really one of them. So let's get down to it. So I'm going to use a 16-inch. So I'm using a 16-inch barrel because for me the length makes more sense than the 14-inch, which I borrowed. The 14-inch, I was all the way out like right here, naturally grabbing it. So trying to get oil on my pants. So the 16-inch, which this is a Daniel Defense upper that has, it doesn't matter. They all just end up, you know, we just throw them together and make them what we want. But I have this little Magpul, little Talon hook, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Basically, it's easy for my fingers to grab, but doesn't add a lot of weight. And it just reminds me, because I don't have any good habits yet, but fortunately I don't really have any bad habits, I don't think. This reminds me to pull the gun into my shoulder more. I didn't have it at Nats. Not that I would have remembered, but I think this might help me remember, yep, you can grip it and pull it in. I don't even remember where, I've had this for a long time. It's Tridentis Tactical. I don't even know anything about this company. I bought this foregrip, this rail, simply for the looks. As most of you should buy things for the looks. Just like any of us, right? You build out ARs, or you build, when you're not actually shooting them all the time or for a living, you kind of buy things for looks. And I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is, like, from a professional shooter standpoint, yes, that is not priority anymore. You want things priority is reliability. You want something that works and works well and works every time. And you do want that, I guess, too, no matter who you are, you want those things ideally. But we tend to, if you're like me, you tend to gravitate towards looks. That looks cool. Then you see, like, oh, can I find a good review? I don't care if overall rating is shit, but can I find a good review so that it justifies me buying it? That's what I used to do, right? However, I can speak to this. I've put not a ton of rounds. I really haven't trained a ton, but I've put enough rounds to know that this is good enough. This reel is good enough, right? I would trust it to run it in PCSL or in competition, just the way it is. And as you can see, that's just the way it is. That's the way I'm going to run it. I'm just for the 16-inch upper, I'm running the Holosun Ames for the main sight, and then as you see, a 507 comp on the 45 degree. So that's going to be my main setup where I shoot the bulk of the stages. Also, we'll hit the front. Right now, this is a Surefire comp. Surefire. You guys recognize it more than me, I guarantee you. But I've got that on there. It's not a comp. It's a comp. It works really well. But I am going to change it to Unrivaled Technologies. Talked to Kyle Litzy and Zach Smith, and I really liked what those guys are doing over there. Mean Arms, Unrivaled Technology. Those guys, obviously, they know rifles. They know what I trust their opinion more than mine. They're professionals in this game, right? And they're the top of that game. So they built some great stuff over there. I got to try a few things at PCSL, and it's just a matter of, it was obvious that how well it worked, and it's just a matter of kind of getting used to it. More than anything, it's going to be on me for the training. I know that. That's just the reality of it. But I'll be utilizing some of their, go fast parts, right? So I'll be changing the brake, and then I'll also be using one of their bolts that I don't have, their titanium BCGs, the bolt carrier groups, for this. And I'll probably just use that same bolt in the other upper, which I'm about to show you. Basically, that's basically it. The rest is going to be either cosmetic or preference, right? So, let me get this out. Sorry, I just woke up not too long ago. This is my first cut. I haven't even finished it yet. So, sorry if I'm slow talking. But this is the upper I'm going to use. It's an Aero Precision upper. It's an 18-inch upper, right? So this, and don't mind, I got two 45s on there. That's not going to stay that way. I just threw them on there just to not lose them. So this also has a Surefire flash hider / brake kind of mix. But this is also going to have the same thing. It's going to have the Unrivaled Technologies brake. And then of course I'll share the bolt with this, and I'll probably take this and just swap them as needed for depending on what the stage requires, right? Which is awesome about PCSL, that you can just change the gun to fit the needs of the stage, and it doesn't bump you out of category, right? Necessarily. Obviously read the rules, but it's just really cool what they're doing, that you can just kind of use the tools you have for the job, for what the job requires. So yeah, that's basically this. It's not finished. I'm waiting for my I'm going to be getting, it's already ordered, but a Vortex, the Razor 1-6 LPVO, BDS, which is per Kyle. Let's see. I just asked him what do I need to get, and yeah, and then I got an Arrow Precision mount for it. So both of those are coming. I just don't have them yet. So, but I just figured I'd show you kind of what I'm building, mainly because I'm excited about this, you know, new league, new platforms, all that stuff. Right? It's fun. So it energizes you when you have fun. Go figure. So yeah, this isn't done yet. However, once I get that on there, I'll have a 507 on one of these 45s. I'll have the LPVO, and that will be kind of the long distance stages, right? Well, 200 yards and in is what we're dealing with, and that'll take care of that. And the extra length is just kind of like, I don't know. I'm not a rifle expert, but I know the extra length is going to be better for precision, right? Generally. So I'm going to use the upper I have to accomplish that, and also be able to run an LPVO separate from my main rig, which I'm just so used to. For me, I'm just so comfortable with the dot, so used to it that I think it just makes sense to run the bulk of the stages like that, and just have a different setup for the longer ranges stage. I mean, they're going to be mixed. On what I saw with PCSL, they would have a couple long range stages, but that wasn't the only part of the stage, right? That was usually the beginning or the end or whatever. But it really ate up most of the time for me, especially for me with, you know, without the skill of, you know, those top guys with the rifle. That's where I lost. I mean, minutes. USPSA, we think like we lose, you know, tenths of a second. Seconds are just devastating. And if you add it up all the time on a rifle that I wasted, it's minutes. So just kind of a different game, right? So you're gonna have, you know, you're gonna have issues with PCSL. Like you're gonna come across problems or create problems or have to overcome some something, right? Some mistakes. And in USPSA, having a mistake is like just a, you know, a 2-second mistake is almost devastating. And in this, a 2-second mistake is you're doing good managing it to 2 seconds. You just don't want any catastrophes where, you know, you have like this horrible double feed you got to clear that costs you 10 seconds or something. You know, that's when you're really like, okay, that's eating some time. Or just makeups after makeups and standing reloads with your rifle, that sort of thing. Those are more on the catastrophe side. But even with that, you know, you can still, if you manage it well, you're still not like out of the game, right? You can still be competitive because there's just so much going on. The stages are so much bigger and longer and more memorization, and just so much more can go wrong, and it does. It's for everybody. So it's just kind of like managing the catastrophes to be more mistakes, and the mistakes to be more inconveniences than, you know, and that's the route you want to take with it, at least what I've seen. So anyways, that's what this video is. One last thing with this I think is awesome that I really hadn't had a chance to use, but thanks to Save Your Equipment, awesome bags. These guys, this is their coffin, and so that's what I'm basically going to be to and from my house to the range for training. For travel, of course, I'm going to be in a hard case, but I might throw this in the hard case, right? I'm looking at it, it's over there, in my Pelican, because this will definitely fit. So I'll throw my rifles in the soft case to protect them, and then throw them in the hard case. But yeah, this thing is awesome. So I'm able to fit 2 rifles in here, right? And I added this from one of their other ones. They've got another double one, not the coffin, but it's more traditionally rectangle. But yeah, you got, you know, 1 rifle in there, 1 rifle strap there. I added this from the other one, so that, you know, that's what I use this for, just to muzzle it in, right? But yeah, really good stuff here. High quality. These guys are in Costco now with their long bags, but just really well thought out stuff, you know, and very, very durable, very, like I said, high quality. So you know, other compartments with Molly and Velcro. So what's cool about that is I can take from my other bags or other Savior equipment with the Velcro and just the part, like if I have a parts kit that's in a zip up, like I'm looking at my bag over there, the backpack bag, it's got those, I can take that and just Velcro it in here or vice versa, whatever. But yeah, anyways, just throwing it out there for ideas for you guys. And this is kind of like just a, just an over the shoulder strap, single strap, but it's got really rigid, really well built handles for if you need to grab it from any angle pretty much. So there's another one. So anyways, check them out as well, and I'll keep you updated. These long posts, or I guess these long videos, or these videos tend to be long just when you're talking about general stuff. So hopefully that didn't bore you too much, but yep, that's it for this one. And I'll keep you updated as I get my LPVO, get to the range. We'll do a range video and I'm getting some long range steel for my private range, which is pretty exciting. And once I get that out there and set up, we'll start shooting it, and we'll learn together. I mean, most of you probably know more than me right now. However, I'm going to learn some things and then I'm going to tell it to you like you don't know. So, all right, that's what this channel's all about. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one, and hit me up with any questions or suggestions. All right, have a good morning.